Imagine the world around you is untouched, a place where the rhythm of nature is the only measure of time. There are no roads, no bustling cities, no neon lights illuminating the night sky. The air is crisp, tinged with the earthy scent of pine, wet moss, and the hum of distant wildlife. You stand in the midst of a vast, unbroken forest, the ground beneath you soft with the thick blanket of fallen leaves and rich soil. The towering trees around you sway gently in the breeze, their branches whispering secrets of the past, their leaves catching the sun's warmth in patches of golden light. This is the world of early humans, a time when survival was woven into the fabric of nature itself. The stars above were as familiar as the ground beneath your feet, the sound of running rivers your only compass, and the sun's path across the sky a guide to your journey. In this world, there are no maps, no compass, no written instructions. Yet the people here move through their land with purpose, as if the landscape itself has spoken to them in a language older than words. Feel the earth beneath you shift, your feet making a soft sound as you walk. The forest surrounds you, its shadows long and stretching as the sun begins its slow descent. Above you, a gentle breeze stirs, carrying with it the scent of the forest and the promise of evening. As you walk, the air cools, and the quiet rustle of leaves is the only sound that accompanies your steps. Here, in this ancient landscape, navigation is not something that is taught with books or diagrams. It is something that is felt, instinctual, woven into the daily rhythm of life. People don't need maps because the land speaks to them in subtle ways. The contours of the hills, the colour of the sky, the sound of a river winding through the trees, they are all part of the language that guides them. There is no need for charts and measurements. They know the direction to follow by the way the sunlight filters through the trees at dawn, by the way the river flows and the way the wind shifts in the evening. The land has its own map, one that is drawn in the stars and the shifting tides of the seasons. The vast forests, the rivers winding through valleys, the mountain ranges standing like silent sentinels in the distance. These are their markers. The same land you walk on today is the same land they knew, passed down through generations. Their knowledge of the world, of the land's patterns and rhythms, is etched in their memory, passed down by words, by the sound of footsteps on the earth, and by the stories shared by firelight. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a great forest. The trees are so tall, their trunks thick and gnarled, winding their way upward, stretching for the sky. The air smells fresh and green, damp from the morning mist. You can hear the soft rustle of leaves, the call of distant birds, and the low murmur of a stream. You take a step forward, feeling the ground beneath you give, slightly with each movement. Every step is a reminder that this world has not been shaped by human hands, but by the patient forces of nature itself. Around you, life is in constant motion. You can hear the distant sounds of animals, the chirping of insects, and the rustle of branches swaying in the wind. But in this world, there are no signs pointing the way. There is no road ahead to follow. You must rely on your senses, the sound of the wind, the movement of the animals, the patterns in the sky, to guide you. Your journey here is not about following a map. It's about following the cues of the land. The river to your left runs deep and strong, its waters shining silver in the light of the setting sun. The land slopes gently towards the water, and you know that the river will carry you to a familiar place, a place where your ancestors once camped, where they gathered food, made tools, and sat under the same stars that you now gaze upon. You pause for a moment, breathing in the fresh air, taking in the stillness. The world around you feels ancient, yet alive. There are no roads here, no paths worn down by thousands of footsteps. But you don't need a map. The land speaks to you in a way that words never could. Imagine now, as you continue your journey, the sun sinking lower in the sky. The shadows stretch across the landscape, and you can feel the air cool. In the distance, a mountain range rises, its silhouette sharp against the fading light. You know that mountain range. It is a familiar sight, one that has guided countless generations before you. You know the shape of the land, the way the sun moves across the sky, the way the stars guide your path when night falls. You may not have a map, but you have something far more valuable, an intimate connection to the land itself. This is the world of your ancestors, a world where every step is a memory, every direction a part of the journey, and the land itself a guide. As the sun dips below the horizon, the cool night air settles around you. You pause once more, your senses heightened. The stars above are your companions now, their light soft and steady, guiding you forward. In this world, you are not. As you continue walking, the air shifts, and you feel the temperature drop slightly. The shadows of the trees stretch long across the ground, their trunks dark and solid against the lighter backdrop of the sky. Your feet crunch softly against the earth, every step slightly muffled by the dense undergrowth. The scent of pine and damp earth fills your nose, grounding you in the moment. You pass under the dense canopy of leaves, each rustle of the branches above signalling a slight shift in the wind. It's quiet here, save for the occasional distant call of an animal or the soft rustle of small creatures scurrying through the brush. The landscape begins to change. The soft moss beneath your feet gives way to firmer ground. Ahead, a clearing opens, and you find yourself standing on a hilltop, the wide expanse of land before you stretching into the distance. The view is breathtaking, with rolling hills and vast plains, patches of forest, and winding rivers weaving through the terrain like veins of water feeding life into the earth. You pause for a moment, taking it all in, the wide sky above, the gentle sway of the tall grasses, the subtle rhythmic movement of the landscape as it curves and shifts in the light of the early evening. From here, you can see the valley below, a familiar one. You know it well. In the distance, the river meanders, and its winding path looks as natural as the veins on your hand. The path of the river is ingrained in your memory. It's been a landmark for generations. Here, the land is shaped by time, worn down by the constant movement of water, the rise and fall of seasons. Every change in the landscape has been catalogued in memory, passed down from one generation to the next. The elders speak of the river's unpredictable floods and dry spells, its winding twists, and the way it shifts with the seasons. In the spring, it swells, heavy with meltwater from the distant mountains. In the summer, it is calmer, trickling along its course. By autumn, it carries fewer waters, receding slowly, leaving behind the rich, moist earth. You follow the hillside down toward the river, your steps sure and steady. The wind picks up again, and you feel it stir the long grass at your feet. It's a cool breeze, filled with the scent of earth, a reminder of the changing seasons. It's a familiar sensation, one that reminds you how intimately tied to the land you are. The world moves in cycles here. The seasons, the rivers, the very air itself. There's a rhythm to it, a heartbeat that you know as well as your own. As you approach the riverbank, the sound of the water grows louder, the soft rush of it flowing over rocks, the occasional splash of a fish darting through the current. The ground softens beneath your feet, and the river's edge is slippery with smooth stones and mud. You step carefully, the familiar surface of the riverbank underfoot grounding you once more. The light from the setting sun reflects off the water, shimmering as it dances across the river's surface. For a moment you simply stand there, watching the water flow by, its surface rippling gently, disturbed only by the occasional gust of wind or the movement of wildlife. The river is a constant in this landscape, a guide for those who travel, for those who have lived here for generations. It's more than just a body of water. It's a part of the story of the land. The river winds through the earth like a natural map, its path etched into the land's memory. It has been a route for trade, for migration, for sustenance. You know that just beyond the next bend lies a place where the forest thickens, a grove that has sheltered your ancestors, where they once camped in the spring, gathering wild herbs and fruits. You have heard the stories of those who have travelled this path before, of the dangers they faced and the beauty they found in the quiet corners of the world. You move forward, the sound of the river carrying you with it, knowing this path well. The forest begins to thin, and the open plains appear once more, stretching in all directions. In the distance you spot the edge of a great forest, where the trees grow thick and dark, their branches forming a dense canopy. You've walked this route before, but each time you approach, it feels as if the land is revealing something new, another angle, another perspective. The trees sway gently in the wind, casting long shadows across the field, the rustle of leaves creating a soothing symphony with the wind. As you approach the forest, you feel the temperature drop even more, the cool air seeping in between the cracks of the branches. The sunlight dims, filtered through the thick canopy above, casting everything in a soft greenish hue. The sounds of the forest grow louder now, the hum of insects, the distant calls of birds, the rustle of small animals moving through the underbrush. It's a familiar world, a world that has been here for millennia, where time moves slowly and the changes are subtle but constant. The forest feels alive, not in a way that is overwhelming, but in a way that fills you with a quiet sense of belonging, as if you too are a part of the landscape. The path ahead is clear, the trail well worn by generations of travellers. The ground is firm here, but there are pockets of soft, damp earth, a sign of the rain that fell earlier in the day. The leaves underfoot are slick, and you watch your step, feeling the cool, damp surface as you move forward. You know the forest well, but there's always something new to discover. Another animal trail, another stream that leads to a hidden spring, another section of forest that offers shade and shelter. The land here is not something to be conquered, but something to be understood, something to move with rather than against. Each step you take is a reminder of how deeply connected you are to this place, to the rhythm of the seasons, the movement of the water, the wind that blows through the trees. As you continue, you reach a clearing where the light breaks through the canopy in wide, sweeping beams. Here, the air is warmer, and you pause for a moment, taking in the quiet beauty of the clearing. The grass is tall and sways gently in the breeze, and there are wildflowers dotting the landscape in bursts of colour. A small pond sits in the centre, its surface reflecting the sky above, creating a mirror of the world around you. The sight is calming, the stillness of the water mirroring the calm that settles in your chest. From here you can see the distant hills where the land begins to rise, the place where the river flows down from the mountains. This landscape, with its rivers, plains, forests and hills, is the map of your world. It's a map that has been handed down to you, not through drawings on paper, but through the stories of your ancestors, through the experiences they shared with you and the memories they left behind. This map is not static. It is living, changing, evolving with each new season, each new cycle of life. You sit for a moment, taking in the view, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin. The landscape stretches out before you, a vast, interconnected world of beauty and mystery. Every element of it is a guide, from the tallest tree to the smallest stream. There is no need for written directions here. The land tells you everything you need to know. The sounds of the forest grow louder as evening approaches, and you stand, feeling the familiar rhythm of the world all around you. The wind picks up again, gently stirring the grass and the leaves in the trees. It's a constant reminder that nature is always in motion, always changing, always alive. As the sun begins to set, you feel a sense of peace, knowing that the landscape you walk through is both timeless and ever-changing, that it has been here long before you and it will continue long after you. The river, the trees, the hills, they all continue unbroken, guiding those who walk this land. And so, you move forward, knowing the path ahead is just as familiar as the one behind. The world around you, with its sounds, smells and sights, is your map, and it will always lead you home. You step away from the clearing and continue on the familiar path, where the soft rustling of grass and the distant murmur of the river fade into the background as the forest grows thicker around you. The air here is cooler, damp from the recent rain, and the scent of wet earth, moss and pine fills your lungs. The path winds through the trees, and you can feel the ground beneath you shift slightly with each step, the occasional soft squish of moss cushioning your feet. The forest here is denser, the trees growing close together, their trunks covered in lichen and soft green moss that makes the landscape feel as though it has been untouched for centuries. As you move deeper into the woods, the light shifts. Dappled sunlight filters through the canopy above, creating pools of light on the ground. The shadows stretch long, their edges soft and fluid. The deeper you go, the more the sounds of the outside world fade, replaced by the quiet, enveloping hum of the forest itself. The chirping of birds becomes more pronounced, a rhythmic song that echoes in the distance. The occasional rustle of a small animal darting through the underbrush, or the scurry of insects moving between the leaves becomes the heartbeat of the forest. You feel a shift in the air, a subtle change that's barely noticeable but undeniable. The temperature cools as the sun sets behind the thick canopy, and the colours of the forest grow muted, the vibrant greens of the leaves fading into darker tones. The path ahead grows less defined, the earth softer and more uneven, the occasional root or fallen branch causing you to adjust your steps. But the rhythm of the land is familiar to you, guiding your every movement as you follow the natural contours of the ground. A few steps further, and the forest opens up to a small ravine, the edges steep and jagged, but the bottom wide and clear. The sight of the ravine, rugged and untamed, strikes a balance with the natural beauty around it, the towering trees creating a sense of protection, while the open space below offers a quiet expanse that stretches out for miles. The air here feels different, as though the land breathes deeper in this spot. The wind moves more freely, and you can hear the faint creaking of the trees, their branches shifting under the pressure of the breeze. There's a particular stillness to this place, as if it holds a secret, waiting for someone to uncover it. You cross the ravine carefully, stepping from stone to stone, balancing lightly as you follow the path that winds along the other side. The sound of your footsteps is muffled by the thick vegetation, the soft rustling of leaves the only noise that accompanies you. As you move further along, the landscape shifts again, and a feeling of deep connection to the land settles in your chest. There is no confusion here, no uncertainty about the path. The forest has led you here, just as it has led countless others before you. As you reach the top of a gentle rise, the full expanse of the land opens before you. The forest thins out, and beyond the tree line, the wide open plains stretch far into the horizon. The earth here is drier, the ground firm underfoot, and the grasses sway in the breeze, golden and brown. In the distance, you can see the outline of a great mountain range, its peaks dusted with the last remnants of snow from the high-altitude winter storms. The mountains, timeless and ever-present, have always been the ultimate guide. Markers in the distance, always fixed, always reliable. They were here long before you, and they will remain long after. As you move closer to the edge of the plains, a deep sense of belonging fills you. There is something grounding about the vastness of this landscape. The sweeping horizon that connects the land to the sky, the vastness of the earth beneath your feet, and the feeling of movement in every blade of grass, in every gust of wind. The world is not a static place. It is a living entity, constantly shifting, evolving, and adapting. And you too are a part of that movement. The sounds of the forest grow faint as you step further into the open plains, replaced by the whisper of the wind moving through the tall grasses and the soft thud of your steps on the earth. The view ahead is both intimidating and awe-inspiring, vast, wide, and endless. You pause for a moment, taking in the full breadth of the land, feeling the weight of its silence. The mountains loom in the distance, but it's the horizon that seems to pull you in. There's a natural pull here, a sense of freedom that comes with wide open spaces. As you walk along the edge of the plains, the sun sinks lower, casting long shadows across the earth. The light shifts, turning golden as it fades toward the horizon. The land is bathed in a warm, rich glow that makes the grasses shimmer and the distant mountains appear even more majestic. There is something magical about the way the world feels at this moment, when the day is fading and the world is slowing down, as if taking a deep breath before the night. You pause to rest on a large flat rock near the edge of the plains, looking out at the vast landscape. The wind picks up again, carrying with it the scent of the earth and the distant smell of water. You close your eyes for a moment, listening to the hum of the world around you, the whisper of the wind, the soft creaking of the distant trees, the faint sound of water running somewhere far off, and the occasional bird call. For a moment, you allow yourself to become part of the land, to feel the earth beneath you, the air surrounding you, the sun sinking slowly behind the mountains. The world is full of rhythms, the rise and fall of the seasons, the movement of animals across the land, the shift of the winds. All of it moves together, a symphony of nature that is constantly in motion. Opening your eyes, you spot a small group of animals grazing in the distance, likely deer or wild cattle, moving slowly, their heads bent to the grasses. It's a peaceful sight, one that reminds you of the balance that exists in this world. Every creature, every plant, every rock and tree has its place in the rhythm of the land. There are no accidents here. Everything is connected, working together, and it's this connection that guides you forward. You rise from the rock and continue your journey, walking with purpose now. The evening air is cool, and the light has grown softer, almost ethereal. The horizon stretches out endlessly before you, and you feel as though you're walking towards something, though you don't know what. The mountains in the distance seem closer now, and you feel the familiar pull of the land guiding you forward, drawing you toward that vast, unbroken expanse. With each step, the landscape transforms. The rolling plains give way to a small, thick forest, a grove of ancient trees that tower over you, their roots deep in the earth, their leaves a mix of gold and green in the fading light. The air is richer here, the scent of pine and oak mingling with the cooler breeze that blows through the leaves. It's an ancient, timeless place, and you feel the weight of history in the air. This grove, these trees, have been standing for centuries, their branches reaching for the sky, their roots firmly planted in the earth. You move deeper into the grove, your steps quiet on the thick carpet of pine needles that cover the ground. The light here is soft, the trees casting long, dappled shadows across the forest floor. There's a deep sense of peace in this place, a stillness that wraps around you like a blanket. The air is cooler here, and the scents are sharper, fresher. Pine, earth, damp leaves. It's a place that feels sacred, untouched by time, where the only sound is the whisper of the wind in the branches above. As you move through the grove, you begin to sense that this place, like the river, the mountains and the plains, has its own map. The trees, the rocks, the movement of the wind. These are the landmarks that guide you. You can feel the rhythm of the land beneath your feet, the soft give of the earth, the steady hum of the natural world around you. It's a reminder that, even without maps, even without the tools of civilization, this world, this ancient living world, has always known the way. All you need to do is listen. The land speaks in its own way, and those who are in tune with it, who walk its paths with care and respect, will always find their way. As you move deeper into the grove, the shadows grow longer, and the sounds of the forest grow richer, layered, complex, like a symphony of nature playing just for you. The air has a cool edge now, the final vestiges of sunlight filtering through the high canopy, casting golden shafts of light that dance on the thick carpet of pine needles. The trees here are ancient, their trunks wide and gnarled, their bark thick with age. The quiet hum of the forest is broken only by the occasional creak of a branch, the rustle of a small animal in the underbrush, or the soft rhythmic tapping of woodpeckers searching for insects. With each step, the scent of damp earth and fresh pine needles grows more distinct, filling your senses. The ground beneath you is uneven, soft in places where the pine needles have accumulated in thick layers, and harder where the roots of the trees break through the soil, twisting up from the ground like natural sculptures. The air here feels richer, more alive, as if the very atmosphere is thick with the pulse of ancient life. As you continue, you spot movement out of the corner of your eye. A small group of deer, their coats a warm brown that blends almost seamlessly with the earth, move gracefully through the trees. They don't seem to notice you at first, their attention focused on the soft grasses and ferns growing at the base of the trees. You pause, watching them for a moment, their delicate movements like a dance, each step measured and purposeful. They are a part of this land, just as much as the trees, the rocks, and the river. They too are guided by the rhythms of the world. The deer move quietly, their hooves barely making a sound as they step over the soft forest floor. One of them, a young doe, lifts her head suddenly, ears twitching as she picks up a scent in the air. Her gaze sweeps toward you, and for a moment you lock eyes. There's a quiet, almost knowing look in her dark eyes, as if she understands that you're not a threat, that you're simply passing through her world. and then, just as suddenly, she turns her head back to the underbrush, her body moving with fluid grace as she continues her search for food. The rest of the group follows her lead, moving as one, their silhouettes blending into the shadows of the trees. You continue on your way, the presence of the deer fading into the background as you immerse yourself once more in the peaceful stillness of the grove. The path ahead grows steeper, winding upward as the land rises in gentle undulations. The trees here are more spaced out, their trunks taller and thinner, reaching upward toward the sky, their branches high above your head, creating a canopy of leaves that shifts with the light. As the sun sets, the forest begins to cool even further, the transition from day to night palpable in the air. The sounds of the forest shift too. The wind picks up, rustling through the branches, and you can hear the calls of owls in the distance, their low hoots cutting through the silence like whispers. The path ahead opens up into a clearing where a small brook runs, its waters clear and swift, carving its way through the rocky terrain. The brook sings a soft, soothing melody, the sound of the water splashing over smooth stones, creating a natural rhythm that resonates in your bones. You pause at the edge of the water, the cool air around you carrying the scent of fresh water, earth, and the faint hint of moss that clings to the rocks. The brook winds its way through the clearing, its waters catching the last rays of the setting sun, making the surface shimmer with golden light. You kneel by the edge of the water, your fingers brushing lightly over the smooth stones that line the brook's bed. The water flows freely here, its current strong enough to carry the leaves and twigs that fall from the trees above. The coolness of the water is a refreshing contrast to the warmth of the air, and you dip your hands into the stream, feeling the crispness of the water as it flows over your fingers. The sensation is grounding, calming, as if the very act of touching the water connects you to the flow of the land, to the pulse of the earth itself. The clearing around you is quiet now, the soft murmur of the brook the only sound that fills the space. The light is fading, and the forest seems to settle into a deeper, more peaceful silence. The stars are beginning to emerge in the sky above, their faint light just starting to pierce the darkening canopy. You sit for a moment by the water, taking in the stillness, feeling the quiet rhythm of the forest seep into your bones. The world is slowing down, and in this moment you feel as though time itself is stretching out, holding you in its embrace. The cool evening air carries the scent of wet earth and the distant smell of pine. You rise slowly, feeling the tension in your muscles release as you stand. The forest has a way of doing that, of making you feel grounded, centered, as though you're a part of something much larger than yourself. The trees, the rocks, the water, all of it has been here long before you and will be here long after. It's a humbling thought, one that reminds you of the deep, unbroken connection between yourself and the land. The path continues beyond the clearing, winding through the trees and toward the distant hills. The sun has almost disappeared entirely now, leaving only the faintest trace of light on the horizon. The stars are brighter now, their light piercing the darkness like tiny beacons in the vast black sky. You walk on, following the path that has been carved by centuries of footfalls, by the movement of those who have come before you. The air is cooler now, the temperature dropping as the night deepens. As you walk, you notice the faint rustling of leaves underfoot, the soft crunch of the earth as your feet press against the ground. The sounds of the forest shift once more, and you feel the presence of the creatures that share this land. The small animals moving through the underbrush, the distant calls of birds, the steady rhythm of the world turning. The land is alive with movement, and yet In this moment it feels still, as if the entire world is holding its breath, waiting for something just beyond the horizon. The trees around you grow taller again, their trunks thick with age, their branches weaving together to form a dense canopy overhead. The path becomes narrower now, the earth beneath your feet uneven, the occasional root or stone making you step carefully. You follow the curve of the land, winding upward as the forest thickens around you. The air is cool and crisp, the faint scent of pine and earth lingering in the atmosphere. The silence is deep here, the kind of silence that fills the space around you, almost as though the forest itself is listening, waiting. You pass under low branches, the leaves brushing softly against your skin, the coolness of the night settling around you. The scent of the earth grows stronger, mingling with the fresh fragrance of the pine trees. There's something about the air here, something grounding, something ancient. The earth feels alive beneath your feet, its pulse steady, its rhythm unbroken. The forest moves with you, guiding you forward, each step a part of the journey, each breath a part of the land's timeless flow. Ahead, the trees begin to thin once more, and the path opens up, revealing a wide vista beyond. The mountains rise in the distance, their peaks shrouded in mist, the dark silhouette of their outlines standing against the night sky. The valley below stretches out, the land undulating gently toward the river that winds its way through the plain. The scene before you is vast, expansive, stretching far into the horizon. The moon is high in the sky now, its silver light casting a soft glow over the land, turning the river's surface into a shimmering ribbon of light. You stand there for a moment, taking in the view, the quiet beauty of the landscape before you. The land is vast and open, yet you feel no sense of loneliness. There is something comforting about the vastness, something grounding in the way the land stretches out endlessly before you. The world feels both immense and intimate, a reminder of the deep connection between all things, the land, the animals, the trees, and yourself. The wind picks up again, sweeping across the plain, rustling the tall grasses and carrying with it the scent of the earth and the coolness of the mountains in the distance. You take a deep breath, feeling the air fill your lungs, the rhythm of the world continuing all around you, the land shifting gently with the wind. The path ahead beckons, a quiet, unbroken thread that moves through the land, always changing, always flowing forward. You step forward once more, guided by the land, by the stars, and by the deep, unshakable connection that ties you to this place. The path stretches ahead, winding through the open plains, and you feel the earth shift beneath your feet as you descend into a gentle valley. The land here is lush, dotted with clusters of tall grasses that sway with the wind, their heads heavy with seed. The air carries a rich, almost sweet fragrance, a mixture of wild flowers and the subtle perfume of fresh earth. The sounds of the world grow even richer here, the distant calls of birds, the hum of insects in the grasses, and the faint rustling of the wind as it moves through the field. Each sound, each scent, feels like a note in an ancient song, a rhythm that has been played for millennia. As you walk, the land begins to open up even further, revealing stretches of rolling hills that disappear into the horizon. The view before you feels infinite, stretching out toward the great mountains in the distance. The sky above is clear now, the stars beginning to twinkle faintly as the last light of the sun fades behind the distant peaks. The soft glow of twilight casts long shadows across the land, and the grasses glow faintly in the dimming light, their edges catching the wind and shivering like the last breath of the day. The path becomes less defined now, the earth softer underfoot, and you begin to notice the small changes in the landscape, how the rocks grow more numerous as you approach the base of the mountains, how the air shifts slightly, becoming cooler, crisper as the elevation rises. There is something timeless about the way the landscape changes here, as if the land itself is reaching up toward the sky, stretching to meet the heavens. The ground beneath your feet feels solid, but the air, now thin and cooler, seems to whisper of something distant, something ancient. You pause for a moment, taking in the scene before you. The mountains ahead are massive, their peaks shrouded in a veil of mist that swirls in the evening air. The jagged outlines of the rocks seem to reach toward the sky, their dark forms standing in stark contrast to the pale glow of the stars above. The air here smells different, tinged with the scent of cold stone and the faintest hint of evergreen. You can hear the soft murmur of the river far below, its waters rushing over rocks, carving its way through the valley, bringing life to the land below. The world feels vast here, its scale almost incomprehensible, and yet you are part of it. A small piece in a larger puzzle, but still, undeniably, a part of it. The wind picks up, carrying with it the scent of distant rain and the promise of the coming night. You can feel the temperature drop, the cool air seeping into your bones. The grass beneath your feet is damp now, the moisture from the evening dew beginning to settle on the earth, adding a freshness to the air. The scent of wet earth and moss mingles with the sharper, more mineral smell of the stones that are becoming more prevalent as you move forward. You step carefully, feeling the coolness of the rocks underfoot, their surfaces smooth and worn by centuries of time. The path narrows here, the way ahead becoming less clear, but you can sense it. The pull of the mountains, the direction they offer. The land here feels ancient, unbroken, like a place that has been shaped by the hand of time itself. Each stone, each tree, each gust of wind seems to carry a story, a memory from the distant past. You feel as though you are walking through a place that has always been here, a place that has witnessed the rise and fall of generations before you, yet remains unchanged in its core. As you move closer to the base of the mountains, the air becomes colder and the land begins to change once again. The grasses give way to sparse shrubs and jagged rocks, and the trees grow smaller and more twisted, their branches reaching out like gnarled fingers. The earth here is rougher, uneven, and the sounds of the world grow quieter as you ascend. The wind howls through the crags of the rocks, and the night seems to close in around you, the stars above now distant and cold. The ground is more rugged here, sharp rocks jutting out at odd angles, and you step carefully, your feet feeling the unevenness of the terrain beneath you. In the distance you see a series of caves, their dark mouths yawning open against the mountainside. These caves, weathered and ancient, are worn by time, their entrances smoothed by centuries of wind and rain. They are like the eyes of the mountain, staring out into the valley below, watching over the land. You approach them slowly, the air growing colder as you draw nearer. The scent of stone and earth is stronger here, and you can feel the weight of the land pressing down on you, its silence almost oppressive. As you enter the cave, the temperature drops even further, the coolness of the stone seeping into your skin. The walls of the cave are rough and uneven, the rock worn smooth in places where hands have touched them over countless generations. The faint sound of water dripping echoes in the distance, and the air smells of earth, wet stone, and something ancient, as though this place has been a silent witness to the passage of time. The darkness inside the cave is thick, but your eyes adjust, and you move deeper into the shadowy depths. The stone beneath your feet is slippery in places, and you feel the coolness of the ground press against your feet as you walk carefully forward. You can hear the faint rustling of something ahead, the scurry of small creatures moving through the dark. It's a reminder that even in the deepest shadows, life persists. The cave is alive, not just in its stillness, but in the small movements that carry on within it. Creatures that call it home, creatures that have adapted to the darkness, just as humans have adapted to the land above. The further you go, the more you can sense the pulse of the cave, its rhythm quiet but steady. The air is thick with moisture, and the sound of your breathing is loud in the silence. The walls of the cave seem to close in around you, and the temperature drops once more, a chill that seeps into your very bones. It is a stark contrast to the warmth of the sun outside, and yet there is something strangely calming about the darkness. The cave is a sanctuary, a place where time seems to slow, where the world outside is forgotten and only the rhythm of the land remains. You stop for a moment in the heart of the cave, your hands resting lightly on the smooth stone walls. The quiet is deep, almost absolute. It is a silence that has been shaped over millennia, a stillness that speaks of the passing of countless years. The cave is ancient, but in its depths it feels timeless, as if it has always been here, watching, waiting. And for a moment you're no longer just a traveller passing through. You're part of this ancient landscape, as connected to the land as the rocks beneath your feet, as the creatures that scurry in the darkness, as the wind that blows through the trees. The moment passes quickly, and you continue your journey through the cave. The path ahead opens up into a larger chamber, and the sound of running water becomes clearer. The cave widens here, its walls stretching high above you, the ceiling dotted with stalactites that hang down like ancient icicles. The water flows through the cave in a series of small streams, its surface shimmering in the dim light. The sound of the water is soothing, a rhythmic, constant murmur that echoes through the chamber. You move closer to the stream, the coolness of the water rising from the depths as you approach. The air is thick with moisture, and the scent of the earth grows stronger here, mingling with the sharp mineral smell of the stone. The water flows quickly, its surface smooth and glassy, as if it has been carved over centuries by the steady flow of time. You kneel by the edge of the stream, dipping your fingers into the cool water. The sensation is refreshing, grounding, the coolness of the water in stark contrast to the warmth of your skin. You drink deeply, feeling the water fill you, its clarity refreshing, as though you were drinking directly from the heart of the land. The cave, with its water and its stillness, feels like a world within a world, a place where the flow of time has slowed, where the rhythms of the earth are more pronounced, more palpable. The silence here is different from the stillness of the outside world. It is a deep, rich silence, one that has been shaped by the passage of time, by the steady drip of water, the flow of life that moves within it. You rise and continue on, the sound of the water still echoing in your ears as you follow the cave's winding path. The air is heavy here, but you feel at ease, as though the land itself is guiding you, showing you the way. The mountain is alive, and you are part of its story. As you move further into the cave, the path grows narrower, winding deeper into the heart of the earth. The temperature continues to drop, the cool air settling around you like a second skin, thick with the scent of stone and damp earth. The walls are slick with moisture here, the rough surface of the rock cold to the touch as you brush your hand along it. The faint sound of dripping water echoes in the distance, a rhythmic, soft percussion that mingles with the occasional scurry of creatures moving in the dark. It's a place that feels ancient, timeless, untouched by the world outside. The passage ahead is tight, the walls of the cave pressing in on you, and yet there is something deeply calming about it. The sense of entering a space that has been carved over millennia, shaped by forces that existed long before human feet ever touched the earth. You pause for a moment, allowing your eyes to adjust to the dim light. The shadows stretch long, the darkness curling around you like a living thing. There is a stillness in the air that feels almost sacred, as though the very essence of the earth has settled here, waiting in silence. The air is thick with the scent of moss, stone, and the faintest trace of water, a reminder of the life that continues even in the darkest corners of the world. You take a deep breath, the cool air filling your lungs, and for a moment you're simply here, alive in this moment, connected to the land in a way that feels beyond words. The path grows even more winding, the rocks underfoot now sharp and uneven, requiring careful steps. The ground is slick in places, the wetness of the cave making each movement feel deliberate, calculated. You reach out to steady yourself against the wall, the cold stone a contrast to the warmth of your skin. Your footsteps are muffled here, swallowed by the thick darkness of the cave, and all that remains is the steady drip of water, the quiet hum of life that exists just beyond your sight. The deeper you go, the more the cave seems to close in around you, the walls pressing in tighter, and the air grows heavier with each step. The darkness here is absolute, the light from the opening above fading as you descend further into the depth of the earth. You can feel the weight of the land around you, the vastness of the mountain pressing down, and the quiet strength of it fills you. The cave is not just a passage, it is a living thing, breathing with the pulse of the earth. Every step you take feels like a step further into the heartbeat of the world, a reminder that this place has existed long before humans walked its path, and it will endure long after you're gone. As you move deeper still, the sound of running water becomes louder, echoing off the walls, bouncing through the narrow passages like a distant song. You follow the sound, the path opening up slightly as you approach a narrow stream that runs through the cave. The water here is clear, rushing over smooth stones, its surface reflecting the faint light that remains. The sound of the water is soothing, rhythmic, a steady reminder that even in the deepest places of the earth, life continues to flow, to move, to shape the land. The air here is thick with the scent of water, fresh, cool, alive with the pulse of the land. You crouch down beside the stream, the coolness of the water touching your fingers as you dip your hand into its flow. The sensation is grounding, invigorating, as if the water is cleansing you of the outside world, connecting you once again to the earth. The stream flows with purpose, its current strong, carrying the history of the mountain in its depths. The water moves over the rocks with a steady, persistent force, carving its way through the stone, shaping the land with each passing day. You drink deeply from the stream, the cool water rushing over your tongue, filling your mouth with its clarity. There's a sense of ancient wisdom in the taste of the water, a reminder that this place, this land has existed for eons, flowing with the same steady rhythm that has always been. The water tastes of earth, of stone, and of life, and as you drink, you feel connected to something greater than yourself, something that has endured long before human hands ever touch the world. The cave seems to hum with the presence of the stream, the sound of the water flowing through the narrow passageways, its rhythm a steady beat in the heart of the earth. The walls of the cave here are smooth, worn by the passage of time and the steady flow of water. You rise slowly, the cool air around you carrying the scent of the stream and the earth, and continue your journey deeper into the cave. The path ahead is shrouded in shadow, the light from above now a distant memory, but you are not lost. The cave is a part of you now, its rhythm, its flow, guiding your every movement. The air is thick with the scent of stone, the coolness of the mountain wrapping around you like a cloak. There is a certain peace here, a peace that comes from the knowledge that the earth, in all its vastness and complexity, is always there, always steady, always enduring. As you move forward, the passage widens, and the cave opens up into a larger chamber. The walls are jagged here, the ceiling high above, and the air feels different, charged, almost electric. You can feel the weight of the mountain pressing down on you, the sense of ancient power that resides within these stone walls. The floor is uneven, dotted with rocks and boulders, and the light from above, though faint, still filters through the cracks in the stone, casting long, eerie shadows across the room. The air in the chamber is heavy with moisture, the scent of wet stone and the earth filling your lungs. There's a faint sound of movement here. Creatures, perhaps, small animals that make their homes in the dark recesses of the cave. The silence is punctuated by the occasional scurry of feet, the faintest rustle of wings as something moves in the shadows. But for the most part, the chamber is still, the air thick with the presence of the mountain itself. You walk further into the chamber, your footsteps echoing off the stone, the sound bouncing around the vast empty space. The walls here are covered in strange markings, symbols etched into the rock, worn smooth by the passage of time. You run your fingers over them, the rough stone cool under your touch, the markings strange and mysterious. They speak of something ancient, something that has long since been forgotten by the world outside, but within these walls, within this mountain they remain, silent witnesses to the passage of time. As you continue through the chamber, you come to a small opening in the wall, a narrow passage that leads deeper into the mountain. The air here is different, cooler, and the scent of damp stone and earth is thick in the air. You hesitate for a moment, the weight of the mountain pressing on you, but the path ahead beckons, and you step forward, following the narrow passage as it winds deeper into the heart of the earth. The walls are tighter now, the passage smaller, and you feel the earth close in around you, the space growing more intimate with each step. The air is cool here, almost cold, and the scent of stone is sharp in your nostrils. The passage twists and turns, narrowing even further, till you find yourself in a small chamber, the walls smooth and polished, as if shaped by human hands. The space feels different here, unnatural even, and there is a sense of ancient power in the air. The stones around you are etched with symbols, more intricate than any you have seen before, their meaning lost to time. There is a weight to this place, a heavy, almost oppressive presence that fills the air. You step closer to the walls, your fingers brushing lightly over the carvings, and as you do, you feel a strange warmth emanating from the stone. The symbols pulse under your touch, their meaning impossible to decipher, yet somehow familiar. They're a reminder that this place, this mountain, holds secrets, secrets that have been buried for eons, waiting for someone to uncover them. The warmth from the stone beneath your fingers grows more pronounced as you press harder, your mind drawn to the intricate patterns carved into the rock. Each symbol seems to shimmer with an ancient energy, like the echoes of a forgotten language waiting to be understood. You pull your hand away, feeling the warmth linger on your fingertips, as if the stone itself holds memories within it. Memories of those who walked this very passage long before you ever set foot in this cave. The walls around you are slick with moisture, the coolness of the cave creeping into your bones, and yet, despite the chill, there is something here that feels alive, something that reaches out to you from the depths of the earth. The narrow passage you entered from is now almost invisible in the dim light, swallowed by the dark recesses of the mountain. But ahead, the faint glimmer of more symbols catches your eye. Another set of carvings, deeper within the cave, etched into the very heart of the stone. The air grows heavier, thick with the scent of wet stone, moss, and something else. Something faintly metallic, as though the mountain itself is breathing, its very pulse resonating through the walls. You step forward, moving carefully, the ground uneven beneath your feet. The chamber narrows again, and the walls grow tighter, pressing in on you like the embrace of an ancient being, its fingers carved deep into the mountain. The dim light of the cave barely illuminates your surroundings, but the sense of something shifting in the darkness is undeniable. The stone beneath your feet feels more unstable now, the weight of the mountain pressing against you with each step, as though the earth itself is alive, watching, waiting. You move deeper into the chamber, and the temperature drops even further, the air colder now, a biting chill that numbs your skin. The cave feels different here, more oppressive, as though the silence has taken on a weight of its own, pressing in from all sides. Your breath comes in shallow, misty clouds, a reminder of how far you've descended into the earth, how far you've travelled away from the world above. But it's not just the cold that unnerves you. It's the sense that something ancient and unknowable is close, just beyond your reach. The passage ahead grows narrower still, the walls closing in on you, forcing you to move sideways as the rock presses against your shoulders. The air is damp now, the scent of wet stone overpowering, thick with the musk of the cave's ancient breath. You can hear the faint drip of water echoing in the distance, but it's not the soothing sound of a stream anymore. It's sharp, almost jarring, like the cry of the earth itself. The path ahead feels more claustrophobic, the darkness closing in around you as you continue forward, the light from above now nothing more than a distant memory. And then, just as the passage seems too tight, the walls widen again, and you find yourself standing in yet another chamber, this one far larger than the previous one. The ceiling here is high, stretching far above you, the rock uneven and jagged, casting long twisted shadows on the walls. The air is thick with the scent of stone and damp earth, and the silence is almost absolute, broken only by the faintest whisper of the wind from an unseen crack in the ceiling. The walls are covered in markings, the symbols you've seen before, but now they seem even more intricate, more detailed. They swirl in patterns, forming shapes and figures that almost seem to move in the dim light, as if the stone itself is alive, shifting and changing before your eyes. There is something unnerving about them, something ancient, something older than the mountain itself. These markings are not just carvings in the stone. They are messages, a language written in the heart of the earth, waiting to be understood. You step closer to the wall, your fingers brushing against the carvings once more. This time the warmth that pulses from the stone is stronger, more insistent, as though the mountain is calling to you, inviting you to decipher its ancient secrets. The symbols seem to shimmer under your touch, as though they are alive, resonating with a power that hums deep within the mountain's core. The air around you grows heavier, thick with the weight of history, and the darkness seems to draw closer, filling the chamber like an unseen presence. As you continue to examine the carvings, a sudden movement in the shadows catches your eye. At first it's barely perceptible, a shift in the air, a flicker of movement. But then it becomes more pronounced, something shifting just beyond the reach of the light. Your heart skips a beat, and you hold your breath, straining to see what lies hidden in the darkness. The silence stretches out, thick and suffocating, and for a moment you wonder if your senses are playing tricks on you. But then you see it, a figure, barely discernible in the shadows, standing motionless at the far side of the chamber. Your pulse quickens, and you take a slow step back, your eyes never leaving the figure. It's tall, its form draped in shadows, and you can't make out any distinct features, only the vague outline of its shape. The presence is unnerving, something both ancient and alien, standing in the heart of the cave, watching you as you watch it. The silence in the chamber grows deeper, more oppressive, and for a moment you wonder if you've crossed into a realm that you were never meant to enter. But then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the figure vanishes, slipping back into the darkness with a smooth, fluid motion. The air grows still again, the silence returning to its thick, suffocating quality. Your breath catches in your throat, and for a moment you hesitate, unsure of whether you should continue. The presence you felt is gone, but the chill that remains in the air lingers, thick and heavy, pressing in on you. You push the unease aside and take another step forward, the floor of the chamber now uneven, the rocks beneath your feet slick with moisture. The shadows seem to stretch longer here, the light from the entrance barely reaching the farthest corners of the room. You feel the weight of the mountain pressing down on you again, the sense of something ancient and powerful just out of sight, something that has watched over this place for eons. The silence of the cave feels deeper here, more profound, as though you have entered a space where the passage of time itself is suspended, where the world outside no longer exists. The carvings on the wall grow more intricate the further you go, their patterns becoming more complex, more dense. Some of the symbols are familiar, but others are completely foreign, unlike anything you've seen before. They form shapes that almost seem to move when you look away, patterns that twist and spiral, drawing you deeper into the mystery of this place. There is a sense that these markings are not just for decoration. They are a record, a history carved into the very bones of the earth, waiting for someone to read them, to understand the secrets they contain. As you move deeper into the chamber, the temperature continues to drop. The air grows colder, the chill creeping into your very bones. You can feel the weight of the mountain pressing down, the silence wrapping around you like a heavy blanket. The darkness here is thick, oppressive, and you can't shake the feeling that you're not alone. The mountain has a presence, a consciousness that seems to watch you, waiting for you to uncover its secrets. The carvings on the wall begin to form a clearer picture now, the symbols intertwining to create shapes and figures, humanoid forms, animals, and strange geometric patterns that pulse with an eerie energy. It's as though these markings are not just a record of the past, but a map, a guide to something hidden deep within the mountain. The air around you feels charged, thick with the energy of the place, and you wonder if you are meant to understand this language, to decipher the puzzle that lies within the stone. You step closer, your fingers brushing against the carvings once more. This time, as you touch the stone, a sharp pulse of warmth surges through your hand, making you draw back in surprise. The warmth is almost tangible, as though the stone is alive, responding to your touch, inviting you deeper into its secrets. Your mind races, trying to make sense of what is happening. The stone is not just cold, not just a silent witness to the ages. It is alive, reacting to you, to your presence here, in this place. And then, as if in response to your touch, the air around you shifts, and the darkness in the chamber deepens. You feel a shift in the weight of the mountain, a subtle change in the atmosphere. The ground beneath your feet trembles lightly, a faint vibration that seems to pulse through the earth itself. The chamber feels smaller now, the walls closing in as the sense of presence intensifies. The carvings on the walls seem to glow faintly, their patterns shifting and changing before your eyes, as though the stone is alive, breathing with the rhythm of the mountain itself. The tremor in the earth grows stronger now, a subtle but unmistakable vibration that pulses through the walls of the cave, reverberating under your feet, through your chest. The air feels heavier, thicker with each breath, the weight of the mountain pressing down like an invisible force. The carvings on the stone wall continue to pulse faintly, their shapes twisting and shifting in the dim light, each movement seeming to echo with the rhythm of the tremors. The heat beneath your fingers from the stone is unmistakable now, no longer just a subtle warmth, but a steady pulse of energy, as if the mountain itself is alive, reacting to your presence. The chamber around you seems to breathe, as if it is responding to the ancient pulse beneath your feet, the slow, rhythmic hum of the earth. You take another step forward, drawn deeper into the chamber. The walls seem to close in on you, not in a threatening way, but with a quiet invitation, a sense that the mountain is calling you, urging you to uncover something hidden deep within its heart. The air is thick with moisture, a damp, earthy smell that mixes with the sharp, metallic scent of the stone. The temperature continues to drop, and yet the pulse of warmth from the carvings on the wall keeps your hand feeling alive with energy, tingling, as though the very stone is alive with secrets. You feel drawn to them, the symbols twisting before your eyes, almost alive, as if they are shifting, changing to fit some ancient code or rhythm that you can't yet understand. The silence in the chamber deepens, broken only by the soft sound of water trickling in the distance. A slow, steady drip echoes, dripping from somewhere deep within the mountain, reverberating off the walls with an almost hypnotic rhythm. It's the only sound in the cavernous space, but it seems to fill every inch of the air, underscoring the stillness around you. You move closer to the wall again, your eyes tracing the intricate patterns, the swirling figures, trying to make sense of them. They're unlike anything you've ever seen before, symbols that seem ancient and timeless, yet vibrant, alive with energy. As you press your hand to the stone once more, the pulse grows stronger, the warmth intensifying, almost as if the stone itself is breathing, its surface undulating with a life of its own. A sudden chill runs down your spine, a feeling that you're no longer alone in. The chamber, as though the air has thickened and something else has entered the space with you. You take a step back, your heart pounding in your chest, your mind racing. The darkness feels thicker here, almost tangible, wrapping around you as though the very shadows are alive. You listen intently, straining to hear something, anything, other than the distant drip of water, but all you can hear is the deafening silence. It presses in from all sides, heavy and all-encompassing, and you can feel the weight of it settling in your chest. The temperature in the chamber drops again, a sharp, biting cold that cuts through your skin, seeping into your bones. You pull your cloak tighter around your shoulders, but the chill seems to permeate everything. The cavern feels even more alive now, as if it is pulsing with an ancient energy that has been hidden for eons. You look around the chamber, the shadows twisting, the shapes on the wall seemingly shifting with the flickering light. There's a presence here, something intangible but undeniable, watching you, waiting for you to make the next move. You step back again, but this time the weight of the mountain feels heavier, more oppressive. The stone beneath your feet seems to groan, the vibrations more pronounced now, moving up from the depths of the earth. The presence you felt earlier seems to draw closer, its energy growing stronger, filling the air around you. It is as if the mountain itself is aware of you, aware of your every move, your every breath. The weight of its ancient presence presses down on you, and you feel the sense of being both incredibly small and yet inexplicably connected to something far greater than yourself. The darkness feels deeper here, and the cold more biting, but you know there is something you must discover. You force yourself to step forward, moving deeper into the chamber. The walls seem to close in tighter, and the air grows colder, the chill creeping into your very soul. Your eyes scan the walls, searching for any sign, any clue that might reveal the secret the mountain is holding. Then, as your gaze shifts upward, you notice something. Amidst the dense carvings, there is a shape, a faint outline, almost imperceptible at first, but as your eyes focus, you begin to see it more clearly. The symbol is different from the others, larger, more defined, and yet somehow familiar. It almost feels as if it is calling to you, beckoning you closer. The air around it feels charged, as though the stone itself is alive, responding to your presence. You approach cautiously, your heartbeat quickening with each step. The stone under your hand feels warm once again, its surface alive with energy. The symbol is etched deeply into the wall, and as you reach out to touch it, the warmth grows stronger, pulsing beneath your fingers. There is a low hum now, a sound that seems to resonate from the very core of the mountain, vibrating through your body. It feels as though the entire cave is shifting, aligning with the rhythm of the stone. The symbol begins to glow faintly, the lines of it lighting up in soft, shimmering waves, as though the stone itself is coming to life. You stand frozen for a moment, unsure of what to do. The energy around you is palpable, thick with an ancient power that seems to hum in the air, resonating in your very bones. The glow intensifies, spreading outward from the symbol, flowing through the walls, illuminating the chamber in a soft, ethereal light. You watch, transfixed, as the light spreads, revealing more symbols hidden deep in the rock, each one glowing faintly, each one pulsing with a quiet rhythm, as though they are alive. The mountain itself seems to be breathing now, its pulse synchronized with the energy that flows through the symbols. The air feels electric, charged with the force of something ancient, something primal, and you feel the presence in the cave, no longer just a vague sensation, but a living, breathing entity waiting for you to understand. You reach out, your hand trembling slightly as you touch the glowing symbol. The warmth intensifies, and for a brief moment it feels as though the mountain itself has come alive, its pulse matching the beat of your heart. Suddenly, the chamber shifts, the walls trembling as though the entire mountain is awakening. The symbols on the wall seem to come alive, twisting and shifting before your eyes, the shapes moving in a slow, deliberate dance. The pulse of energy grows stronger, and the air becomes thick with the sound of the mountain's breath, low, rumbling, as if it is alive, speaking to you in a language older than time. The carvings shift again, this time forming a pattern, a sequence of shapes that seem to tell a story that is just out of reach, like a memory that refuses to surface. You take a deep breath, forcing yourself to focus, to understand. The symbols are more than just markings. They're a map, a guide, a language of the earth itself. You follow the pattern with your eyes, tracing the lines, the curves, the shapes. Each symbol feels like it is calling to you, offering you a piece of the puzzle, a glimpse of something hidden deep within the heart of the mountain. The temperature continues to drop, and the hum in the air grows louder, vibrating through your chest. You take another step forward, your hand still resting on the stone, feeling the warmth pulse beneath your fingers. The light from the symbols grows brighter, filling the chamber with a soft, otherworldly glow. The energy around you is electric now, charged with the force of the mountain's ancient power. The darkness feels deeper now, but there is no fear. Instead, you feel a deep sense of connection to this place, to the mountain, to the land beneath your feet. The symbols are not just carvings in stone. They are a language, a communication from the mountain, from the earth itself. The presence you feel is not an intruder, it is a guide. Force that has always been here, waiting for you to understand. With each passing moment, the air around you thickens, the pulse of the mountain growing stronger, more insistent. The chamber seems to stretch outward, the walls dissolving into the darkness, the very fabric of the cave shifting to reveal more symbols, more patterns, more secrets. The mountain is alive, and it is speaking to you, offering you its ancient knowledge, its timeless wisdom. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the hum of the earth fill you, letting the pulse of the mountain guide you. When you open your eyes again, the chamber has shifted once more. The air is filled with the light of the symbols, and the presence of the mountain surrounds you, wrapping you in its ancient embrace. The carvings on the walls seem to glow with a soft ethereal light, and the shapes before you shift once more, forming into a pattern that is both familiar and strange. You reach out, your fingers tracing the lines of the symbols, and as you do, the mountain's pulse grows stronger, the hum of the earth vibrating through your very being. The path ahead is clear now. The symbols are a guide, a map to the heart of the mountain, and you know that you must follow them. With a deep breath, you take your first step forward, the energy around you pulsing, guiding you into the darkness, into the depths of the earth. The mountain's presence is with you now, a constant companion on your journey deeper into its heart. The pulse of the mountain continues to vibrate beneath your feet, a steady thrum that seems to resonate with the very core of your being. It is no longer just a distant hum. It is a rhythm, alive and pressing, demanding your attention. The air around you grows dense with the energy, the very atmosphere thick with an unseen presence. Each step you take is deliberate, purposeful, as if the mountain itself is guiding your every movement, pulling you deeper into its mysteries. The light from the glowing symbols reflects off the walls in rippling patterns, casting long, ghostly shadows that stretch across the cavern. The symbols seem to shimmer, their intricate designs shifting in the dim light, as if they are alive with movement, evolving before your eyes. There is no mistaking the sensation that the stone itself is breathing, pulsating with a life of its own, wrapping you in a cloak of ancient power. As you move further into the depth of the chamber, the stone underfoot becomes uneven, jagged in places, the rough edges of the rock pressing against your soles. The temperature shifts again, growing colder, and you can feel the chill seeping into your bones. The further you go, the more the silence deepens. The distant drip of water fades into the background, swallowed by the overwhelming stillness of the cave. Only the sound of your breathing and the faint hum of the mountain's pulse remain, a steady reminder that you are not alone. The chamber stretches out before you, the walls now curved and flowing, as if the cave itself has been shaped by the slow hands of time, carved by forces far older than human memory. The air is thick with moisture, and the scent of wet stone fills your nose, mingling with a faint odour of moss and earth. The stone here feels different, smoother, more polished, as if it has been touched, caressed by countless hands over the millennia. Ahead, the path begins to narrow again, the space closing in on either side. The walls seem to curve inward, the rock pressing in with an almost imperceptible force, as though the mountain is gently coaxing you forward, drawing you deeper into its embrace. The dim light from the glowing symbols above flickers, casting faint shadows that dance across the walls, lending the cave an almost ethereal, otherworldly quality. The glow seems to pulse in time with the rhythm of the mountain, each beat synchronizing with the vibrations beneath your feet. Your heartbeat quickens, the air growing thick with anticipation. There is a presence here, a force, waiting, watching. You feel it in the weight of the stone, in the stillness of the air, in the slow hum of the earth. The mountain seems to be speaking to you, but its language is not one of words. It is a language of sensation, of energy, of ancient knowledge passed down through the ages, waiting for you to understand. You step forward, moving deeper into the narrow passage. The walls close in tighter now, the path twisting and winding, narrowing with each step. The air becomes heavier, colder, and the hum of the mountain grows louder, vibrating through the stone, through the very air around you. Your breath becomes shallow, the coolness of the cave seeping into your lungs, mixing with the ancient air, thick with the scent of time itself. As the passage grows even narrower, you can feel the presence behind you, the sense that the mountain is drawing you forward, guiding you deeper into its heart. The glow from the symbols on the walls flickers, casting long shadows in every direction, the shifting light adding to the growing sense of unease. The space feels alive now, a living, breathing entity, its pulse in perfect harmony with your own. And then, ahead of you, the passage opens up once more, revealing another vast chamber, the ceiling stretching high above you, lost in darkness. The air is cooler here, the stones slick with moisture. You step forward, your footsteps muffled by the damp ground, and the faint scent of earth and stone fills your lungs. The chamber is empty, save for the towering stalagmites that rise like ancient sentinels from the ground, their jagged forms piercing the air, their tips lost in the darkness above. The walls here are smooth, polished by time and water, the surface glistening in the faint light that filters through cracks in the stone. There are more markings on the walls, more symbols, more language carved into the very bones of the mountain. They seem to pulse with a rhythm of their own, their shapes shifting, flowing, intertwining with one another. The light seems to shift around them, as if the symbols themselves are moving, changing, evolving. The atmosphere in the chamber is thick with energy, and the air around you feels heavy, charged with an ancient power. The mountain is alive, and you can feel it. Every part of you is attuned to it. The pulse in the stone, the rhythm of the air, the flow of the water. Everything is connected. The chamber is vast, and yet it feels as if it is just a small part of something much larger, something that extends far beneath the surface, deep into the earth's core. As you move closer to the center of the chamber, the temperature drops even further. The coolness of the air becomes sharp, biting, and you can see your breath mist in front of you, a fleeting wisp in the stillness of the cave. The stalagmites around you seem to grow taller, more imposing, and the walls appear to close in once more, as though the space is shrinking, pulling you deeper into its heart. You take a deep breath, steadying yourself, and begin to walk toward the far side of the chamber. The glow from the symbols on the walls flickers again, casting long, strange shadows that stretch across the stone floor. The sound of your footsteps is muffled, absorbed by the thick air, and the hum of the mountain vibrates in your chest, a deep, resonant thrum that fills the space around you. With each step you feel the presence of the mountain growing stronger, the energy in the air thickening, wrapping around you like a living thing. It's as if the mountain itself is drawing you in, urging you to understand, to listen, to feel its ancient pulse. The stones beneath your feet seem to guide you, leading you forward, pulling you into the depths of the cave, into the heart of the earth itself. The symbols on the walls seem to come to life as you move closer, their shapes shifting and changing, flowing like liquid, as though they're written in a language only the mountain can speak. The light from the glowing patterns flickers in rhythm with the pulse in the earth, casting shadows that dance across the chamber, warping and twisting, as if the very air is alive with movement. As you reach the far wall, you notice something new, a large, flat stone embedded into the surface, the markings on it more intricate than anything you've seen before. The edges are worn smooth, as if it has been touched, caressed, over and over again by countless hands, and the surface seems to hum with energy, as if the stone is alive, vibrating with the pulse of the mountain. You reach out to touch it, your fingers brushing against the cold, smooth surface. The moment your hand makes contact with the stone, a surge of warmth floods through your body, radiating from your fingertips, spreading up your arm and filling your chest. The energy that pulses through the stone is overwhelming, yet not painful, alive, vibrant, almost intoxicating. The light from the carvings around you intensifies, the symbols on the walls shifting in time with the surge of power. The ground beneath your feet trembles once more, the vibration running through your legs, into your spine, a deep, primal thrum that feels like the heartbeat of the mountain itself. The air grows thick with energy, and you can feel the presence surrounding you, pressing in from all sides, filling the chamber with a palpable force. The mountain is alive, and it is aware of you, aware of your touch, aware of your presence. For a moment the world seems to blur, the light from the symbols casting flickering shadows on the walls, the pulse of the stone vibrating through your very soul. The darkness in the chamber deepens, and you feel a strange pull, something beyond your comprehension, beyond your understanding, calling you forward, urging you to follow the ancient rhythm of the earth. The moment your hand touches the stone, the entire cave seems to respond. The energy surges through the air, a tangible, crackling force that sweeps across the chamber like a storm. The symbols on the walls glow brighter, their light becoming blinding, and the earth beneath your feet trembles as though the mountain itself is awakening. The once still air begins to stir, a low whisper that seems to come from deep within the heart of the cave, an ancient breath, long dormant, now exhaled with purpose. The temperature drops even further, the coolness of the stone creeping into your bones, but it is not an uncomfortable chill. It is a profound cold, one that fills you with a strange sense of reverence, as if you are standing at the threshold of something far greater than yourself. The air is thick now, heavy with a presence that feels ancient, primal, and wise beyond measure. The hum in the earth has become a low, resonant vibration, and it moves through you, deep into your core, as though the very fabric of the mountain is speaking to you in a language beyond words. You step back, pulling your hand away from the stone, but the warmth lingers, seeping through your fingertips like the afterglow of a powerful unseen force. The glow from the symbols on the walls flickers like the last moments of twilight, casting strange dancing shadows across the cavern. The stone seems to pulse, the energy within it shifting and moving, as though it is alive, aware of your presence. The air is thick with ancient knowledge, with secrets buried deep in the heart of the mountain, waiting to be uncovered. You feel a deep sense of awe, an overwhelming pull toward the unknown, toward the ancient truths that lie hidden beneath layers of time and stone. The mountain is not just a place, it is a being, an entity with its own consciousness, and you're standing at the edge of its vast ancient memory. The ground beneath you shifts once more, the vibrations growing stronger, and you realize that the mountain is guiding you. The path you must take is not marked by simple steps, but by the energy that pulses in the very walls of the cave, the rhythm that echoes in the stone, the language of the earth itself. It is not a path you can see, but one you must feel, follow, with every step, with every beat of your heart. You turn, moving deeper into the chamber, the symbols on the walls flickering as you pass them. They seem to follow your movements, their light bending and shifting in time with your every step. The mountain watches you, listens to you, responds to you, as though it is learning from you, waiting for you to understand its ancient language. The path ahead is narrow, winding through jagged rocks and narrow corridors that seem to tighten with each step you take. The air grows colder, sharper, but there is a strange sense of peace that settles over you, as though the mountain is embracing you, wrapping you in its ancient, timeless rhythm. You can feel the pulse of the earth beneath your feet, the hum of the stone, the vibration that resonates through your very being. With each step, the darkness grows deeper, the shadows stretching farther, but there is a sense of guidance in it, a sense that the mountain is not leading you into an unknown abyss, but into a place of understanding, of awakening. The walls of the cave seem to shift, the stone growing smoother, more polished, as though the path ahead has been carved out by the mountain itself, waiting for you to find it. As you move further, The air becomes heavy with the scent of wet earth and stone, and the faintest trace of something else, something sweet, almost floral, but tinged with the faintest metallic edge. It is a scent you can't quite place, but it fills your lungs, grounding you in the present, in the place where time has no meaning, where the ancient rhythms of the earth are eternal. You come to another chamber, larger than the previous one, and you feel a sudden shift in the air. The energy here is different, more intense, more focused, as though the mountain has drawn you into its very heart. The walls of the chamber are lined with even more symbols, but these are different, more intricate, more detailed. They spiral in on themselves, twisting and turning in patterns that seem to defy logic, to transcend the simple structure of language. The shapes move, shifting and flowing, as if the stone is alive, as if the markings themselves are constantly evolving, changing in real time. The light from the symbols flickers, casting eerie shadows across the chamber. You step closer to the wall, your eyes tracing the shapes, trying to make sense of the patterns. Some symbols are familiar, but others are entirely alien, their meanings impossible to decipher. You feel the energy within them, though. Each symbol seems to resonate with a different frequency, a different vibration, and when you focus on them, the air around you seems to pulse, to vibrate with the force of something ancient and powerful. The ground beneath you shifts again, the vibrations intensifying as you move deeper into the chamber. The walls are closing in around you once more, the space narrowing as the tunnel stretches onward. The air is thick with moisture, the scent of stone and earth overwhelming, but there is also something else, something faintly metallic, almost electric, like the crackle of energy before a storm. You take another step forward, your breath shallow, your senses heightened as the hum of the mountain grows louder, the energy in the air more palpable. You feel it in your chest, the resonance of the earth's pulse, the rhythm of the stone, the movement of the mountain itself. The symbols on the wall seem to bend and twist in your vision, shifting and changing with the flicker of the light, but you feel the meaning behind them, even if you cannot fully understand it. The passage grows tighter now, the walls pressing in on you, the air becoming thicker, colder. You move forward, your steps slow and deliberate, as if the mountain is asking you to proceed with caution, to feel each moment, to move in time with the ancient rhythm that echoes through the stone. The vibrations in the air are almost overwhelming, like the hum of 1,000 voices, the whispers of the earth, speaking to you in a language older than time. You reach a narrow opening in the wall, the passage becoming so tight now that you must move sideways to squeeze through. The stone is slick, wet with the moisture that seeps from the depths of the mountain. Your body presses against the cold rock, and the air grows colder still. Each breath you take a sharp contrast to the warmth of the chamber behind you, but the path ahead calls to you, drawing you forward into the unknown. As you slide through the opening, you emerge into another space, this one darker, more foreboding. The walls are slick with moisture, the stone smooth and wet beneath your fingers. The air is thick, almost stagnant, as if the mountain has sealed off this chamber from the world above, preserving its secrets deep within its heart. The hum of the earth seems to reverberate in the very bones of this place, the vibrations so strong now that you can feel them in the marrow of your bones. Ahead, in the centre of the chamber, stands a large stone pedestal, its surface worn smooth by time and the touch of countless hands. The pedestal is empty, but it radiates a sense of purpose, as though it was once a place of great significance. The symbols on the walls around you seem to converge toward it, their shapes twisting and curling, their lines stretching out toward the pedestal, as though they are reaching for something, calling to something hidden deep within the mountain. The energy in the air is electric now, crackling with power, and you feel it course through your body, filling every fibre of your being. The mountain is alive with energy, its pulse quickening, its rhythm growing more insistent. You step toward the pedestal, drawn by the unseen force, the mountain calling to you, urging you to uncover its ancient secrets. You stand before the pedestal, the ancient stone smooth and worn by time, its surface gleaming faintly in the shifting light from the symbols on the walls. The air around you feels thick now, charged with an energy so powerful it's almost palpable, as though the very mountain is holding its breath, waiting for something, waiting for you to take the next step. The hum beneath your feet is louder here, vibrating in your chest, in your bones, as though the mountain itself is pulsing with life, its energy rushing through the stone like a river seeking release. The symbols on the walls around you seem to be drawn toward the pedestal, their shapes shifting and flowing, as if they are reaching out, gathering around the stone in a silent dance. The glow of their light grows brighter, flickering like flames caught in a wind, casting long shadows that stretch across the cavern. The darkness feels like a presence now, deep and heavy, wrapping itself around the stone, making the air feel dense, suffocating. Yet there is no fear in you, only a strange sense of connection, as if the pedestal is a part of you, as if it's calling to you, asking you to understand, to unlock the mystery it holds. You take a cautious step forward, your boots sinking slightly into the cool, wet ground beneath you. The stone feels cold, ancient, as if it has stood here for eons, waiting, watching. Your breath quickens as you move closer to the pedestal, the weight of the moment settling over you like a cloak. The mountain's energy grows stronger, more intense, and the pulse beneath your feet matches the rhythm in your chest. You reach out a hand, the warmth from the symbols on the walls brushing your skin, and you press your fingers to the surface of the pedestal. For a moment nothing happens. The stone remains still beneath your touch, its surface smooth and cold. The hum of the mountain seems to fade into the background, and for a fleeting instant, you wonder if you've made a mistake, if this place is nothing more than a forgotten relic of the past, a symbol of a lost time. But then, just as quickly as the thought comes, the stone beneath your fingers shifts, a subtle tremor running through the surface, and the hum of energy in the air intensifies. You pull your hand away, startled by the sudden movement, and watch as the pedestal begins to glow. The light starts at the base, a soft, pulsing glow that gradually spreads up the stone, lighting it from within. The symbols on the walls flicker again, the lines twisting and shifting, their movement more fluid now, more intentional. The hum in the air becomes louder, more urgent, and the temperature in the chamber drops sharply. Your breath becomes visible in the cold air misting in front of you as you watch the pedestal light up, the stone glowing brighter and brighter until it is almost blinding. Then, as quickly as it began, the light fades, and the pedestal stands before you, still and quiet once again. The energy in the air recedes, but the vibrations in the stone remain, a constant low hum that echoes in the depth of your being. The symbols on the walls are now silent, their glow dimming, their movement slowing. The cave is still again, save for the faint drip of water somewhere in the distance, but something has changed. The air feels different now, heavier, thicker with purpose. The pedestal has done something, revealed something, and you feel it deep within you, a shift in the energy around you. It is as if the mountain has acknowledged your presence, as though it has opened itself to you, offering you a glimpse of its secrets. You take another step forward, your hand hovering above the pedestal, feeling the vibrations in the air as you move closer. The surface of the stone feels warm now, a subtle heat radiating from it, as if it has come to life in response to your touch. You close your eyes for a moment, focusing on the hum that fills the air, and in that instant you hear it. Whispers, faint and distant, like voices carried on the wind. The language is unintelligible, ancient, and yet it feels familiar, as though it is a language that has always been a part of you, buried deep in your subconscious. The whispers grow louder, clearer now, and you open your eyes to find that the pedestal is no longer a simple stone structure. It has transformed, shifting before your eyes, its surface now etched with intricate patterns that seem to pulse with life, the lines flowing like water, spiraling and twisting in on themselves. The symbols around the chamber flicker, their light shifting in time with the movement of the pedestal, and the air grows thick with an energy that is both ancient and powerful. The whispers become louder still, the voices now rising in pitch, their cadence quickening until they are a steady chorus, a rhythmic hum that echoes in the chamber. You reach out, your fingers brushing against the pedestal once more, and this time, as your hand makes contact, the stone shudders beneath your touch. A rush of warmth floods through your body, and you feel the presence of the mountain, of the earth itself, fill you, saturating your every sense. The energy is overwhelming, electric, and for a moment you wonder if you are becoming one with the mountain, if its rhythm is now your own. The air around you crackles, the vibrations in the stone intensifying, and the pedestal begins to glow once more, this time with a deep pulsing light that seems to surge from within the very core of the earth. The glow spreads out, flowing into the walls, into the very ground beneath your feet, as if the mountain itself is awakening, breathing, calling to you. The hum in the air grows louder, a deep, resonant vibration that fills the entire chamber, reverberating through your chest, your bones, your very soul. The whispers rise, their voices now clear, and though you cannot understand the words, they feel familiar, as though they are speaking directly to your spirit. You listen intently, your heart racing as the language wraps around you, binding you to the ancient power of the mountain. The energy in the cave is overwhelming now, and you can feel it, pulsing, surging through you, flooding every part of your being with the mountain's ancient knowledge. The stone beneath your fingers vibrates more intensely, and with a sudden burst of light, the pedestal shifts once more, revealing a hidden compartment within. The glow from the symbols around the chamber intensifies, casting long, eerie shadows on the walls, and you step closer, your eyes fixed on the pedestal as the compartment slowly opens. Inside you find a small, intricately carved stone, a token, a relic, something ancient and powerful. It is smooth to the touch, its surface warm, as though it has been waiting for you to find it. You reach out slowly, your fingers brushing the surface of the stone, and as you do, the hum in the air shifts. The whispers fade, replaced by a deep, resonant silence that settles over the chamber. The vibrations in the stone calm, and the light from the pedestal dims, leaving you in the quiet darkness once more. The stone in your hand feels alive, its surface cool to the touch, yet it hums with the same ancient energy that fills the cave. You hold the stone in your palm, feeling its power course through you, a deep connection to the earth itself, to the mountain that has guided you to this moment. The whispers have ceased, but their presence lingers, echoing in your mind, as if the mountain has imparted something to you, something that cannot be fully understood yet, but that will come in time. The stone feels like a key, a puzzle piece that has unlocked something deep within the heart of the earth, something ancient and waiting to be discovered. The chamber is still now, the energy that once pulsed through the walls settling into a quiet hum, a steady rhythm that fills the air. You stand there, holding the stone, feeling its weight, feeling the connection it offers to the mountain, to the land, to the very essence of the earth. There is no fear now, only a sense of peace, a deep understanding that you have uncovered something ancient, something profound. With the stone in your hand, you turn back to the pedestal, the symbols on the walls still glowing faintly, their patterns slowly shifting and evolving as if responding to the new energy in the chamber. You feel a deep sense of completion, as though this is only the beginning, as though the mountain has more to offer, more to reveal, but that you must be patient, that you must listen and learn in time. The path ahead is unclear, but you know, deep within, that it is a path you must walk. The mountain has shown you the way, and now, with the relic in your hand, you're ready to continue your journey, to explore the depth of the earth and uncover the mysteries that lie hidden in its heart. The stone hums softly, the vibrations resonating through your very being, and you step forward, the cave and its energy guiding you deeper into the unknown. The stone in your hand feels lighter now, almost weightless, as though the mountain itself is taking its energy back, leaving you with a quiet sense of calm. The glow from the symbols on the walls fades slowly, dimming with the passing of time, until only the faintest trace of light remains, casting soft, gentle shadows that stretch across the stone floor. The rhythmic hum in the air becomes quieter, almost imperceptible, like the final notes of an ancient song played on the wind. The vibrations that once echoed through your bones now seem to drift away, leaving a peaceful stillness in their wake. You stand still in the chamber, the soft coolness of the air wrapping around you like a comforting embrace. The stone beneath your feet feels grounded and steady, familiar once again, as though the very earth beneath you has returned to its natural, unbroken rhythm. There's no urgency now. The mountain, the symbols, the energy, they all seem to settle, like the calm after a storm, the quiet following a deep resonant sound. The coolness of the stone in your palm is soothing now, no longer a pulse of energy, but a gentle weight, grounding you in the stillness. You close your fingers around it, letting its smooth surface rest in your hand, feeling the quiet warmth that lingers there. The air around you is still, the soft sound of your breath the only noise that fills the space. It feels as though the world is holding its breath, waiting with you, resting with you. You begin to turn slowly, each movement a gentle shift, the stone cradled in your palm. The weight of the mountain feels lighter now, the pressure of its ancient energy softened, as though it too has found its rhythm once more. The path behind you, the one you've travelled, seems distant, a fading memory in the quiet of the cave. The world is slower now, its heartbeat steady and calm, as if time itself has relaxed. letting go. The cool air that brushes against your skin feels like the gentlest breeze, soft and comforting, a reminder of the world outside, of the sky, of the stars that still shine far above. The stone in your hand has become a part of you, its energy no longer a force, but a quiet presence. It feels as though you're no longer in the cave, but part of it, flowing with its deep, unspoken rhythm. You take a deep, slow breath, the air filling your lungs, calm and still, as if you're breathing with the mountain itself. The chamber is quiet now, the hum of life within it dimming, retreating into the stone, into the earth. The silence is a companion now, soft and enveloping, wrapping you in its calm embrace. The symbols on the walls flicker one last time, their light slowly fading into darkness, until only the memory of their glow lingers in your mind. The shadows stretch long, soft and slow across the walls, and you begin to feel the weight of sleep, gentle and unhurried, drifting toward you like a quiet tide. You take another slow, deep breath, letting the air fill your chest, feeling the steady rise and fall, the rhythm of your body in sync with the pulse of the earth. Each exhale releases any tension, any lingering thought, until your mind feels as still as the cavern around you. The stone in your hand rests lightly, like a soft weight that no longer pulls, but simply rests there, a part of you now. The sounds of the cave, the soft drip of water, the distant echo of a deeper rhythm begin to blend together, their steady cadence forming a lullaby of sorts, a gentle hum that fills the space around you. The coolness of the air around you wraps around you like a blanket, comforting, secure. There is no rush now. The world seems to slow with every passing moment, every breath you take. The mountain, the symbols, the journey, all of it begins to blur, fading softly into the background of your mind. You feel yourself drawn deeper into the quiet, as though the very earth is urging you to rest, to let go. There is no need to move, no need to seek anything more. The cave has offered its secrets, and you have touched them, felt them, understood them, and now it is time to be still, to simply be. Your eyes grow heavy, the weight of the darkness around you more comforting than unsettling. The glow of the stone in your hand is but a distant memory now, as your fingers relax, letting it rest in your palm, still and peaceful. The coolness of the cave fades, replaced by the warmth of your own breath, the rhythm of it soft and steady. Slowly, gently, you feel yourself being cradled by the stillness, as though the mountain is holding you, its ancient heartbeat soothing and steady. The darkness around you becomes not a void, but a soft embrace, a space where time has no meaning, where only the pulse of life remains. Your body, once alert, now relaxes, the tension slipping away with every passing moment, every slow, steady breath. The whispers of the mountain, the pulsing energy, all fade into the background, and what remains is nothing but the gentle rhythm of your own breath, the steady rise and fall, the peaceful stillness that surrounds you. The cave, the earth, the mountain, none of it is separate now. It all flows together, merging into the quiet, the calm, the rest. Your mind drifts, no longer tethered to the world above, but floating gently, like a leaf carried on the breeze, moving with the rhythm of the earth, of the stars, of the quiet heartbeat of the mountain. There's nothing to seek, nothing to understand, only the soft embrace of sleep, the soft, slow pull into the deep peace of rest. The air around you grows even softer, as though the very atmosphere has thickened, settling around you like a soft cloud. Your body sinks deeper into it, relaxed, at ease, as if the earth itself is supporting you, holding you in a peaceful, eternal stillness. And then the world around you vanishes. The symbols on the walls, the hum in the air, the pulse of the mountain, all of it fades softly into the background, replaced by the stillness of sleep. You float, unhurried, peaceful, in the quiet of the earth, no longer moving, no longer seeking. You are part of the mountain now, part of the silence, part of the slow, steady rhythm of the world. The darkness is not empty. It is full, full of everything you need, full of rest, full of peace. And as you drift deeper into the quiet, the earth wraps around you like a blanket, soft and comforting. Your mind drifts into the quiet, into the peaceful embrace of sleep, carried away by the steady rhythm of the earth, its pulse now your own.